Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon. If you're in Europe, I know we have people from around the world attending this session today. My name is Ken Countess, and this is the next in our series of online events to help businesses during this very difficult time. My goal in running these seminars free 7 days a week is to help businesses do a better job of marketing their businesses and generating more business. My goal is truly to help bring the business community together because together we succeed. If you have questions or comments along the way, please put them in the chat box or the Q&A. I'm watching both of them. And if you're not sure where to find the Q&A or the chat, move your mouse down to the bottom of your screen. You'll see a black bar show up, and that will allow you to ask questions and add your comments right there. So here's what I'm going to teach you in the next 20 minutes. It's how to recession-proof your small business or how to save a struggling small business. And by the way, this is a 20-minute version of a 2-hour-long workshop. So I'll be moving pretty quickly. And if you choose to attend the 2-hour workshop, we'll be going into things in depth. I'll be giving you worksheets to work on as well. So here's what I'm going to cover today. It's the common reasons why small businesses struggle and fail. I'll give you the takeaways from some really large multinational businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses who did struggle and made a successful comeback. And there's a lot that we can learn from them. They're very simple tools and tricks that we can all apply. And then I'll show you the things that you can do to make your business recession-proof. So if you're ready to go, we'll go through and get this underway. Let's go ahead and get started, okay? Hey, here are the hard facts of small business. So, what I want to do is get these grim statistics out of the way. We've all heard about the fact that most small businesses fail within 5 years. We've all heard that. They die a death, and undoubtedly, starting and running a small business can be risky and scary, especially now, right? And so the thing is, we know that the leading cause of business failure is insufficient cash flow. And if that wasn't startling enough, here are some other top reasons why small businesses fail. Number one, the owner says, you know what, I can do it all. I can do everything on my own. And one of the biggest challenges for entrepreneurs is to let go of control and rely on others, seek help from others. If they don't, their business can fail. Take a look at these other top reasons that businesses fail. They start with too little money. They lack a well-developed business plan. They didn't price their products properly. They were overly optimistic about achievable revenue. And quite frankly, they don't recognize their weaknesses. Hey, my name is Ken Countess. I've got 40 years as a marketer. I'm in my 20th year helping businesses of all sizes grow. And before I became an independent consultant, I was a senior marketing executive at 3 Fortune 100 companies. Motorola, where I spent over 2 decades. Also Marriott and CVS Caremark. I've been managing director of the Countess Group. We are a full-service marketing consultancy. We partner with many different companies to help businesses like yours gain an unfair advantage over your competition. We focus on targeted marketing, lead generation, marketing automation, communications, and PR. So let's get into this, okay? Small businesses fail because they don't understand their market and their customer. Starting a business without thoroughly researching and identifying the target market can lead to failure. So let's take a closer look at why small businesses struggle. Number one, they don't have a clearly defined pricing strategy. Setting your prices too high or too low will affect your sales. And without the right combination of marketing and understanding market trends and understanding product differentiation and correct pricing, a business may fail. A lot of businesses just don't know how to plan financing needs. If a business is new or expanding, it needs sufficient financing. However, that's not enough. Oftentimes, they don't anticipate or react to competition or technology, or certainly in a situation like now, market changes that have happened incredibly quickly, haven't they? Wow, the last month has posed interesting, to say the least, new challenges about how to perform in the market. Some businesses grow too fast and they can't manage it. You know, Aesop was probably onto something in his famous classic tale, The Hare and the Tortoise. A lot of small businesses can be successful quickly, but then they flame out. The best bet is to do measured progress so you can grow at a rate that you can handle. And so while it's tempting to go for it all, predictable growth that's properly managed is the best chance you have at succeeding. So how do large businesses do it? I'm going to give you 3 quick examples. When it comes to comebacks, Apple is probably the most well-known success story to date. You may be surprised to learn what they went through. It wasn't that long ago. It was in the 1980s, which seems like a long time ago these days, 30, 40 years ago. But in the scope of business overall, not that long ago. In the 80s, Apple was losing $1 billion a year. They got rid of Steve Jobs, then they brought him back. And what Jobs did was he set up an arrangement with Microsoft to do some licensing. He diversified the product offerings. In the beginning, it was just a personal computer. Now, of course, there's iPhone and iPad, iPods were out there for a while. There's Apple TV. Apple stores, of course, have really helped to extend the Apple brand. So now Apple is incredibly successful. It's one of the most valuable businesses in the world. How did they do it? They cut costly projects. They cut expenses. They experimented a little bit, more than just a little probably. They evaluated and adapted poorly performing offerings. They got rid of quite a few. And then they started to consider new offerings. So Apple's become a huge success. And what about Starbucks? Starbucks went through a great time of growing quickly, but then in 2008, just a little over a dozen years ago, they grew too fast and they were struggling. They wound up closing nearly 1,000 stores and cut 18,000 jobs. So what happened was they started listening to employees. They closed their stores to do staff retraining, and then they increased their focus on social media, on social ads. So today, Starbucks, of course, is incredibly successful. They revived their corporate purpose. They innovated. They listened to employees and customers. And then there's Best Buy. Best Buy in 2012 was nearing bankruptcy. So what did they do? They closed the low-performing stores and streamlined disorganized stores. They turned things around by having a new customer-centric focus. And they integrated their online and in-store experiences. So now they're thriving. They're doing extraordinarily well. The key takeaways were that they evolved with the changing market. They invested in the client experience. They reduced costs with minimal negative customer impact. So while you and I may not be large multi-billion-dollar corporations like Apple and Starbucks and Best Buy, we can take advantage of some of the experiences they had and use those takeaway insights to help us truly strengthen our businesses. So how do you take action in your business? Ready? Raise your hand if you're ready. Go ahead and use the control panel down at the bottom of the screen and raise your hand if you're ready to learn how to take action in your business. Let's see. Oh, there they are. Wow, all the hands are going up. That's awesome. All right, so here's what you do. Number one is you shift your mindset. Before you do anything else, the first thing you need to do is shift your mindset. We have become so accustomed, I would say spoiled, by doing business the same way for quite a long time. Now we have to do things differently. So, you know, it's easy to look around and say, gee, with this pandemic going on, it's easy to get dejected. It's easy to feel hopeless and look at the glass half empty. But if you want to make a comeback, if you want to prop up your business, then you've got to look at things differently. I know it's easier said than done, especially when your inner voice keeps sending you negative messaging. It's hard to break away from all this negative news about what's going on, especially if you have friends and family that have been impacted by the coronavirus. So here's what you need to do. Hard as it may seem, you need to silence the inner negative voice. How do you do that? Number one, acknowledge it's there. Number two, challenge it. When your inner voice tells you something negative, like you can't do this, turn it around and say, yes, you can. Silence that inner voice and fight back. Number two, perform a SWOT analysis. Do you know what that is? A SWOT analysis is a strategic exercise. It helps you go through your business's strengths and weaknesses. It's really a helpful exercise to help you analyze performance, get rid of the things that aren't working so well, and amp up the things that you really can be working on. So what does SWOT stand for? Number one, your strengths. Take a look at all the things that are strong about your business. Then take a look at the weaknesses. Where are you poorly performing? Get rid of those areas or actively work on making them strengths. Number three, take a look at opportunities you have. Maybe there are other businesses like yours that have pivoted. Maybe they haven't, and that becomes an opportunity for you to step in and capitalize on that. And look at the threats your business may be facing. Are you facing more online threats? The threat of closing your business for a while. I know fitness centers, for example, have a situation where in many parts of the country, they have to close down. So certainly that's a threat. So how do you work around that? Maybe you can do things online. We have local fitness centers where I live in Orlando, Florida area, where they're doing things online now. Number three, understand your target market and your ideal client. Don't try to cater to everybody. You'll find that you're diluting your efforts and you'll be less successful. So focus in on where you've got that low-hanging fruit, so to speak. Look at your target market. Look at the demographics. See who's spending money with you and focus in on that ideal client. And then number four, set up SMART objectives. Create a plan. What is a SMART objective? Well, SMART is an acronym, and the S stands for specific. Make your objectives clear enough for anyone to fully understand. M stands for measurable, that you can determine when it's complete. A is that it's achievable. Make sure it's something that can be accomplished. Not too difficult, not too simple. Make sure it's relevant to your overall game plan and make sure it's time bound. Make sure that you have identified exactly when you're going to get these things done. Number five is reduce costs and prioritize what you can pay. To keep your business open these days, most likely you'll have to trim the fat, so to speak, or reduce costs. Take a look around and see what kinds of things you don't need to have going on right now. Talk to your landlord about your rent. Talk about whether you really need all that office space or can you make alternative arrangements. Maybe you can renegotiate some of your contracts. And if you find yourself in a really difficult spot, try reducing employee hours and compensation. For those of us in the United States, and once again, I know we have people attending from outside the US, the $2 trillion stimulus plan is something we all should be able to take advantage of if we're in business. And by the way, the deadline to apply for many of these programs is next Friday. So make sure you take advantage of that and sign up for those programs. Number 6, manage your cash flow. As you probably know, especially from the statistics I mentioned early on, 82% of businesses just simply aren't planning their cash flow correctly. So it becomes very difficult for them. Create a cash flow forecast so you can anticipate what's coming in and what the outflow will be so you don't turn yourself upside down. Number 7, talk to creditors and don't ignore them. They're very important to us, and while we're all going through a difficult situation right now, it's important to keep those lines of communication open. Number 8 is organize your business. I'm going to touch on that a little bit more in a few minutes. Many times, organization is overlooked by business owners. They sort of run by the seat of their pants. And lack of organization makes you obviously less efficient, but it also costs you money. And so one of the things I'm going to talk to you about is how you can use software to automate your processes. I've got an offer that'll actually save you about 60% of what it might otherwise cost. And this offer is only available for a few days. I want you also to stop wasting time on repetitive tasks. Small business owners have a lot on their plate. There's no doubt about that. There are a lot of repetitive things that you probably can automate. You can do them differently or just get rid of them altogether. Repetitive tasks, while they may be important, can get in the way of you working on growing your business. And next, always focus on your clients. Keeping those clients satisfied and happy has never been more important than it is today. And what do I mean by that? You know, when times are good, it's easy to greet customers every day. If you're in a brick and mortar location, for sure, but online as well, sometimes it's a little more difficult to stay focused on your clients. We tend to get enamored with technology, and that tends to slow us down when it comes to staying connected with clients. But here's a word of caution for you. That is that during this downturn, there are going to be far more people who are looking to get into your business, meaning steal your customers. They may be better positioned than you are. And it sounds frightening, but the reality is this: as things begin to turn, the businesses that will survive are the ones that have stayed focused on their clients during this downturn. And so you can use several tools that will allow you to stay in front of your clients automatically. This isn't a case of you've got to pick up the phone every day and reach out to your clients, although that would be ideal, right? Especially in a situation that we're in, where for many businesses, we have to shelter in place and we can only go out if we're considered essential. But even if we are considered essential, let's say attorneys and restaurants and so on, even the most essential services are somewhat limited because their clients are not willing, for good reason, to show up at their office. So it means you've got to get creative and stay in touch with your clients. I've just put a poll up there. I'd like to know what you think of this session so far. We'll be doing it again tomorrow. So please take a moment and answer that poll, okay? So next, what you think and do really does matter. And there are 4 characteristics of a successful business owner. Number 1 is that they're knowledgeable. They know their market, and they make sure that there's a demand for their products and services. Number 2, they're disruptive. These business owners enter the market with a distinction that separates them from their competition. If you've attended any of my workshops in the past, you know that one of the things I talk about is your unique selling proposition. What makes you stand out? For example, if you are a realtor or a restaurateur, what makes your business different than the other person down the street or online? You've got to do something different, distinctive, to make yourself stand apart, head and shoulders above the rest. Number three, great business owners are persistent. They stay strong and they do not give up. And they're humble. They rely on mentors and community to guide them in both the good and the bad business clients. There's no question that quality relationships are almost always at the heart of these people. And they have a core value. What's your core value? What is it that makes you the person that businesses want to do business with, or that consumers want to do business with? So how do you actually do that? Well, this is your opportunity to recession-proof your business. The opportunity is right now. And you do that by cultivating a relationship with your clients and prospects. And one way to do that is using automation software. So let me present to you this unique opportunity to really get your business on track and recession-proof, so that even if we're in this challenging environment, you can actively get people to connect with you and cultivate those relationships so they'll do business with you. And here's how you do it. The software is called Keep Pro SE. And I have an opportunity for you that you can find on our website. You can't find this deal anyplace else. It's only $99 a month with no contracts, and that gives you a chance to have up to 2,500 people in your list, and it's all month to month. You can actually have a second user on the account as well. So check out our website. The deal is listed right there, and I hope you'll sign up. I've got 3 action items for you to do this week. Ready? Here's number 1. Take a look at your marketing. Is it delivering the results that you need to succeed? Number 2, make sure you schedule a consultation with me and sign up for our events. You can do that on our website. And number 3, also on our website, under the Offers tab, sign up for the tools that will help you grow your business. There's no credit card required for most of them. When you go to our website, look at the tab all the way on the right. That's where the red arrow is pointing to. It says Offers. We try to make it easy. Okay, I'm ready to go into Q&A. And once again, where the Q&A box is, move your mouse down to the bottom of the screen. That will reveal the toolbar where you can use the chat box or Q&A, whatever you like. My name's Ken Countess. I'm Managing Director of the Countess Group. We help businesses just like yours gain an unfair advantage over their competition with targeted marketing. We're a full-service marketing consultancy. Why would you hire us? Good question. We're a team of over 30 people with over 40 years of marketing experience. And by the way, those are people with 40 years. It's not taking all 30 people and adding up their experience and everybody's got a year or 2 and that's how you get to 40. No, it's not that at all. We've got a very experienced team. We vet everybody to make sure we have top talent. So we can coach you or we could do it for you. I encourage you to be sure that you take time to absorb and practice what you've seen today. And give me a call if you have any questions. We'll all get through this challenging time together by working together. Okay, let's go to Q&A. And while you're thinking about questions you might want to ask, let me put up a screenshot of our website and the URL to go to where you can Take a look at replays of events, look at upcoming events, sign up for them, get those free trials, schedule a consultation, and more. You can find us all over social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. There are others as well. But look us up and follow us on our social channels. Whichever channels you like to use, we're probably there. I do have an ask of you for attending today's session. And that ask is to share my emails and share my social media posts and like my social pages. And if you've attended any of my classes before, or if we've done any work for you before, email me a testimonial. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to hear your comments. And with your permission, and I only do it with permission, I'll post them on our website. So let me know if that, number one, if you would send a testimonial, that would be terrific. That's like a review. And also let me know if you'd be willing to have me post it on our website. I don't use the full name. I might use either your initials or your first name and the first initial of your last name. Okay, so those are my asks. Share my emails, share my social posts, like my social pages, and then please email me a testimonial every morning at this time. If you're outside the US, make the adjustment. I know we have people here from Europe and Asia. Thank you all for joining us, and be sure to join us again. So, hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I really love it when you show up, and I love the family of people we've got. We've got some folks who haven't missed a session yet. So thanks so much for joining me. Have yourself a great day. Bye for now.